Actually pushing the issue here.
Another interleague home run for Corey Spangenberg.
Barehanded, he got him. Nicely done.
Still a base for Manuel Margot.
2 home runs for the Padres tonight.
It is high, it is deep, it is very gone. It's a walk-off, 2-run home run.
Fun times for the Padres, and certainly they hope to keep it rolling here tonight in Denver. Time now for the weather report, brought to you by your always sunny San Diego Honda dealers. A cloud covered right now, 84 degrees, breeze west at 12 miles per hour, mostly cloudy the forecast for the remainder of the night. Looks like how it's going to be, as right now the lights are on here as we get started in game 1 of this 3-game series. Don Orsillo, Mark Grant, Bob Scanlon with you at Coors Field, first of 3. In the beginning of a road trip that'll see the Padres go from here in Denver to San Francisco to take on the Giants after this 3-game series against the Rockies. And Andy Green kind of shuffling his lineup early before the ball game, as it turned out that Austin Hedges was unable to make the start after working out before the ball game, and so Andy Green's lineup changes a tad tonight, but his lineup is brought to you by Toyota. Manuel Margot in center field, leading it off with Carlos Asuaje at second base. Will Myers at first base with Hector Sanchez doing the catching. Jose Perella is in left field with Corey Spangenberg at third base. Jabari Blash in right with Eric Ibar, shortstop, batting 8th. And Luis Perdomo out of the 9th spot, bats 9th. German Marquez on the mound tonight for the Colorado Rockies.
The 22-year-old making his 15th start. He's got a live arm in the crop of young arms in the rotation that Buddy Black and the Rockies really like. He is 1/5 of that. Throws the fastball, curveball, slider change, pretty much 2-pitch pitcher though. 94 to 97. So they like this kid. Hopefully they can get to him early.
Margot in on the right side. First pitch of the ball game is going to miss for ball 1, and we're underway. Well, Margot is Asuaje, Myers here in the first. And Wells been leading off with success, and he'll carve it foul off to the right out of play. Seems like the spot that he's the most comfortable in is this leadoff spot for Manuel.
I like the way he looks at the plate. I like the way he puts together at-bats, and it is going to be continually learning for Manuel Margot. The pitcher's going to learn him. He's going to have to learn them. But one thing I do like, and we've said this many times, he uses foul pole to foul pole. And a hitter's count now here 2-1. You know, there's a chance where he could pull a baseball.
We've seen Marquez anywhere from 94 to 98 in his first at bat. Throws hard, good live arm.
Keep an eye on how straight it is as well, because these big league hitters, doesn't matter if it's 93, 98, if it's straight, they can turn it around quickly. There's a 4-seamer at 95.
Last time out, a winner over the Chicago White Sox. Rockies gave him plenty of run support. They won 12-4 against the White Sox July 7th here at Coors Field. Swing and a miss, comes back with the gas and strikes out Margot. Fell behind him 3-1, but ends up striking him out. Well, defensively behind Marquez. Left to right in the outfield, Ian Desmond, fresh off the DL, back with the Rockies. Charlie Blackmon, the All-Star in center. Gerardo Parra in right. Nolan Arenado, speaking of All-Stars, at third base with Trevor Story at short. DJ LeMahieu at second base. Mark Reynolds at first. And Tony Walters, the San Diego native, does the catching. And a liner here into right field for a base hit for Carlos Asuaje. Cutting it off is Parra. And Asuaje aboard with a base hit with 1 down here in the first inning. Wasn't waiting around, went up there aggressively hacking.
Jumping all over the heater. Oh, nice short, quick stroke as well. Pulling that baseball. When you're looking for it, you get it. That's what you do. Don't feel for it. Don't kind of punch it to the left side. That first hack, hey, if it's there, come out of your shoes a little bit.
So 1 out, 1 on. Will Myers, who loves hitting here at Coors Field, standing in for the first time tonight. Coming in, hitting at .255, 16 homers, 42 runs batted in.
You think Will is one of those players down that just can't wait? He's itching to get to the ball yard,
especially here
at Coors Field.
No question.
And see, that's the beauty. Even that swing there, it's a foul ball down the right field line. He could tater it out to right center, and we take a look at the highest career slugging percentage, and look who's right in the middle.
Some pretty big names on that list. And Corey Dickerson made himself an all-star this year, representing the Tampa Bay Rays.
And you took him tonight. Pick the stick.
I did indeed.
Nice leadoff spot by their partner.
Pretty easy decision.
Yeah. Going out on a limb, aren't you?
Yesterday had a good day at the plate too. 2 for 4. In there for a strike hand. All of a sudden down 1-2.
There's the breaking ball from Marquez. Let's keep an eye on that pitch there. It wasn't like a 12-6 breaker. It was more of a sweeping breaking ball.
99 on the fastball there. Rising fastball too. It was up there.
The strikeout is a big part of Marquez's pitching. He's struck out as many as 9. That was against San Diego at Petco. He's had games where he's had 2, 8, 6, 5. So kind of up and down the board when it comes to the strikeouts. And I think, and I know we've only seen a handful of pitches here, with that straight fastball, if you get one in the zone here, I say hack at it. Go after it early. Don't get yourself in a hole, because if he gets a feel for that breaking ball, that could be nasty and maybe tough to connect with.
Swing and a miss, and Myers strikes out. Went to the breaking ball to get Myers. Second strikeout of the first inning for Marquez. 2 down.
You really see the front side of Will Myers open up there. And then, you know, as a hitter, it's got to be so tough. You recognize it, and then you feel, okay, I got to stay back, and you commit. So hard to stay back there. Front shoulder, the bat kind of sweeping through, fooled by that breaking ball with the swing and the miss.
So 2 down is Wahe at first, and it'll bring up Hector Sanchez, getting his 3rd straight start for the Padres. And it's worked out great. He's homered back-to-back days. Of course, the big home run on Saturday, then the home run yesterday. And today was not in the original starting lineup. Looked like Austin Hedges was going to return, but worked out for the game. Did not feel right, and out of the lineup again tonight with Hector Sanchez in there again.
You know, you and I mean, it doesn't matter what we feel as far as the way the team performs, right? Seeing this team every day. But I'd love it if Hector Sanchez is going to be behind the plate. I've got a good feeling. How about you?
I do as well.
Yeah, he's great for the club.
Calls a good game.
Yes.
Some dramatic home runs in a short period of time.
I remember when he was with the Giants years back. And I remember talking to Bruce Bochy, and he was the backup catcher. And Bruce Bochy said, you know what? This guy, if he was on another team, he could be a #1 guy. He'd be an everyday starter.
Yeah, but he was backing up Buster Posey,
exactly.
of course. On some championship teams with the Giants, and that's in there for a strike. Shift on him here on the right side. And a fly ball headed out towards center field, where Charlie Blackmon is waiting. Plenty of room out there. Makes the catch. It ends the inning. Padres leave a runner. Rockies are coming up. gets himself ready for a start here tonight. His first start, not his first appearance here at Coors Field, but the first time that he has started here, and certainly a different experience anytime you get a start here at Coors Field.
I think for any pitcher like Luis Perdomo, just stick with your strength and then adjust accordingly. You know, we talked about Bob Scanlon before the game about Andy Green talking about the four-seam fastball, but still sinker slider. And I think a lot of these, with the way this Rocky hitter team is, they will chase that high fastball if they're behind in the count.
And Charlie Blackmon going to be leading it off here for the Rockies. What a great leadoff hitter he has been. Guy with power, gets on base, good batting average. Got 21 home runs on the year. 64 runs batted in. He drives in runs and hits at 320. He's doing it all. Was an all-star, which certainly would expect with those kind of first half numbers. First pitch from Perdomo is a strike over the outside corner. Blackmon didn't think so. Looks back at Jerry Meals, home plate umpire. Blackmon coming in with an 11-game hitting streak, hitting at 383 during that stretch, 18 for 47. Just continues to impress with what he's doing at the top of the Rockies order. Slaps it foul off to the left out of play.
I remember mentioned it earlier about the ground ball rate for Luis Perdomo, 67%. That's first in Major League Baseball. So that tells me, and these Rocky hitters know, that he likes to work down the zone, stick to his strength. Will they be fishing for pitches off the plate if he's ahead of the count? Like here, 1-2, right? You throw a sinker down and away. I think it's a good spot here for a high fastball.
Driven in the air to deep right field. 1-0 Rockies, and what a shot that was to right field for Charlie Blackmon.
Oh, this one really hurts. Why? Total miss on location. Hector Sanchez wants the fastball up and in. That one right into the wheelhouse of Charlie Blackmon. And Don, as you mentioned, that's off the top facade here at Coors Field. I mean, there are bolts, and then there are bolts, and that was a big-time bolt.
So 1-0 Rockies on one swing of the bat. Vilmo trying to find his bearings here in the first inning. DJ LeMahieu, last year's batting champion in the National League. Lines one to center, but Margot is there to make the catch for out number one.
Time for the bounce back. What I mean by that, after the home run, okay, erase it from the hard drive. Delete it. Put it in the trash can. Throw it away. And that's a nice bounce back by Perdomo, getting that next out and getting quickly, not working a deep count.
Fourth leadoff home run for Charlie Blackmon, the 26th of his major league career. As the Rockies on top 1-0. Nolan Arenado, the swing and a miss for strike one. .305 for Arenado coming into the game. 18 homers, 73 runs batted in. Started for the National League, the All-Star game, and was 2 for 2 in Miami. First Rockies player in franchise history to record multiple hits in an All-Star game. Fly ball into short right. Zwahe going out. Blash coming in. And the right fielder, Jabari Blash, makes the catch for out number two.
That ball seemed like it was up there for a week.
Long time.
Didn't it? And a long run for the triangle. Myers, Zwahe, Blash. And that's Jabari's ball all the way. It's coming in on the baseball rather than Myers and Zwahe backpedaling. That ball, you make a good point, the ball will hang up there a long time, so it gives the outfielders, sure they have to go a little bit more distance, but time to get underneath that baseball to make the catch.
Two down, a run in, and here's Gerardo Parra batting the cleanup spot now for the Rockies.
I think this is a guy that the Rockies really missed. He had that quad strain, and he was hot before that, and he has picked up right where he left off.
Big presence in the clubhouse for Bud Black, too.
He was out for a month.
They get Parra back. They get Desmond back. That makes a difference.
Yes, it does.
They're hoping it makes a difference quickly here because the Rockies have faded. 11.5 games back of the streaking Dodgers, who've won 9 straight games. There's a liner that is caught in the air by Ibar. He wasn't sure, so he fired to first. And that is out number 3 of the inning, but a home run by Charlie Blackmon. A 1-0 Rockies lead. Up 1-0 with a home run. As we head to the second inning, it's time now to take a look at the keys to the game. Brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
How about busting up the Rocks early? Since June 21st, they've lost 15 of 21, not good. And the starters in that span, 6-11 record, a 7.14 ERA, and no huge innings. What I mean by that, if you give up 3 or 4 in an inning, I think you're still in the clear. You give up the 6, 7, 8 spot in an inning, that's a huge inning. So the big inning, I think, is okay. The huge inning, stay away from that.
Jose Barrella leading it off at 282, 4 homers. And a fly ball headed out towards right field. Parra headed towards the line and camped underneath to make the catch for out number 1. So Barrella's been batting out of that cleanup spot and moves down the order tonight with Sanchez batting 4th. Barrella bats 5th. Corey Spangenberg coming up, and he had a big 3-run home run off Jeff Samardzija yesterday. 1 of 2 3-run home runs off Samardzija.
That was a nice swing because it looked like it had 2-seam action. It was up and away a little bit, and he took it that way.
Spangenberg showing bunt, pulling it back. Home run yesterday for him, his 6th of the year, along with 23 RBIs, a 257 average for the Padres' third baseman. Grounded up the middle into center field, a base hit for Spangenberg. Once a goodbye on the mound, no chance for the middle infielders. Second hit of the night for San Diego.
I love the ground ball to the center fielder. Nice compact swing. He got out and he kind of one-handed it a little bit off the plate, right over the rubber on the shortstop side of second base for a big league knock.
1 out, 1 on. Jabari Blash coming up.
You think the combination of the straight fastball from Marquez and the pop of Jabari Blash could,
In the thin air.
in the thin air? You see where I'm going?
Yeah. I saw one of the longest home runs I've ever seen hit by Jabari Blash in Mexico City. Mexico City, I think, is 2,000
I think
feet
it's
higher.
35,000 feet, Mexico City.
But it was really long, is my point.
I know.
So I think we could see another one here for Jabari maybe in
Yeah.
the series.
Yes. So some swings and misses there.
Sure.
Right? I mean, we've sseen that too, but still, if he connects. How about that ball he hit yesterday that to right field, that line drive.
Yeah.
That ball was smoked.
This one fouled back to our right.
We always talk about first pitch strikes, and Marquez struggling in that category. 1 for 7. He's still, you look at the score, up 1-0 because of the Charlie Blackmon home run. But falling behind these Padre hitters.
In the air to center field. Charlie Blackmon going back, still going, looking up, and that ball is gone. Just to the right of the woods. A 2-run home run for Jabari Blash. And with one swing of the bat, the Padres take a 2-1 lead. Now there it is, a home run, his third in the big leagues this year for Jabari Blash. And the Padres take the lead here in the second inning.
Yo, bartender, Jabari needs a refill. There's that fastball we're talking about. There's the strength of Blash. 93 down and in.
Just to the right of the woods.
Playing pepper with the shrubbery. Wow.
Brings up Eric Ibar with the Padres now on top. Here's a grounder softly towards LeMahieu at second base for out number 2 of the inning. So there you go, Jabari Blash. He's had a nice swing since returning from El Paso. We've seen some long home runs, and he's feeling pretty good about himself at the plate right now. 477 feet, the tail of the tape. Pretty good blast out there to right center. Now Luis Perdomo, Padres pitcher, will take ball 1. .3-for-22 at the plate this year for Perdomo. 133 hitter in his 2 years in the big leagues.
Jabari Blash should be a drink. Yo, bartender, I'll have a Jabari Blash. It's a nice, refreshing summer drink. It's got a good ring to it, doesn't it?
It does.
Tonight's special. Jabari Blash on the rocks.
It's fouled off to the right, out of play.
Wetting the whistle after going yard. I think it's protocol. I don't think there's ever been a major leaguer that has hit a home run and not gone to the water cooler directly after.
No, it's a good move. It's a standard move.
It's a veteran move.
Yeah. And you should hydrate here, especially.
Yes.
That's ball 4, and Perdomo walks here. That's the last thing Marquez wanted to do. So the first base on balls that he surrenders goes to the Padres pitcher to continue this inning with 2 down, and top of the order, Manuel Margot coming up. Concerned Bud Black looking on. Margot, a strikeout victim in the first. Good numbers against the Rockies so far in his 6 games in the season series for Margot.
I think that's such a huge walk for the Padres and Perdomo. First of all, because you flip the lineup over, right? Leading off Margot. And with 2 outs in this ballpark, we have seen some serious damage done with 2 outs. You can't shut your toolbox just because you've got 2 outs in the inning.
2 quick strikes here, though, to Margot. 0-2. There's Marquez trying to battle back here. Mentioned Margot struck out in the first. 2 Ks so far for Marquez. 1 for Margot, 1 for Myers. Swing and a miss, and Margot strikes out to end the inning. Another breaking ball, but a home run in the inning as Jabari Blash hits a 2-run shot to right center field. Puts the Padres on top 2-1 with 1 swing of the bat. Rockies after the 2-run shot by Jabari Blash. And we check out the Rockies lineup brought to you by Hyundai. For Bud Black, it is Charlie Blackmon in center field, DJ LeMahieu at second base, Nolan Arenado at third, Gerardo Parra in right, Mark Reynolds at first with Ian Desmond in left, Trevor Story the shortstop, Tony Walters the catcher, and German Marquez the pitcher batting out of the 9 spot. Reynolds leading it off here in the bottom of the second inning.
You talk about a shutdown inning right now, and Perdomo did a nice job after that home run off the bat of Blackmon. 1, 2, 3, LeMahieu, Arenado, Parra.
To the gap in right center field. That's going to get down. All the way back to get it is Margot at the track of the wall. And Reynolds to second base with a leadoff double to begin things here in the second inning.
Well, when you mention the name Mark Reynolds, you think, yeah, pull the baseball with authority, a lot of home runs, a lot of swings and misses. But I tell you what, in this ballpark for Mark Reynolds, I think that under control swing can do some serious damage. That was a nice short stroke, going the opposite way for his 13th double. Because of all that real estate out there in the outfield, you can afford to do that.
Home runs have been there for him per usual, 19 on the year. He's at second as Ian Desmond. We'll take a hack and foul it back. .288, 5 homers, 28 runs batted in for Desmond. That home run, incidentally, for Jabari Blash, 477 feet, longest for the Padres this year. The previous high had been Will Myers at 450 feet against the White Sox. Softly grounded towards third. Spangenberg was deep. It's Perdomo who plants and fires, and it's late. Kind of slipped as he threw. Dangerous play, but he had the best opportunity, it appeared, with Spangenberg deep at third, and it's an infield hit for Ian Desmond.
A pitcher makes such a good pitch. There was a 2-seamer in, really ties up Desmond. And the one thing that I look at here is you look at Perdomo, I mean, like a cat. You know, I think maybe Spangenberg may have had a play on that. I'm just glad that Luis isn't hurt, didn't get hurt on that. Because that's a situation where a pitcher can do that and maybe twist something or pull something. Very awkward throwing that baseball after going there, starting and stopping and going to first base.
So first and third, nobody out, and Trevor Story coming up. Rockies shortstop. Chance here to do some damage in the second inning. 226, 11 homers, 37 runs batted in for Story.
Here's a punch out. There's a lot of swings and misses there.
Grounder up the middle into center field for a base hit. From third comes Reynolds, and the game is tied 2-2. 3 straight hits here in the bottom of the second inning for Colorado.
Well, hunker down, folks. Might be one of those games, back and forth. And first pitch right down the middle at 94. And to avoid the strikeout, why not for Trevor Story? Going to get that fastball, as I mentioned with Marquez. Padre hitters attack early, and he did just that.
So 2 on, nobody out, run in, and Tony Walters coming up here now for Colorado. .264, no homers, 14 runs batted in for Walters. Playing in his 60th game of the year for the Rockies. An open stance from the left side.
This is where you got to utilize that 67% ground ball rate for Perdomo. Get a grounder, take your chances to try to double up Walters. He's grounded into 9. He's in third place in that category for the Rockies, behind Arenado and LeMahieu.
In the air, down the left field line, Perella moves back a few steps, makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Let's check out the Padres defensively behind Luis Perdomo, brought to you by Lincoln. Perella in left just made the catch. It's Manuel Margot in center. Jabari Blash in right with Corey Spangenberg at third base. Eric Ibar at short. Carlos Suaje at second with Will Myers at first. And Hector Sanchez doing the catching. Luis Perdomo on the mound. Has one out in the second inning. Ian Desmond at second. Trevor Story at first. And German Marquez, the pitcher, coming up and already squaring at the plate. Now he pulls it back, swings away. Running to second base is Ibar to throw to first for a double play. Nicely done. The Rockies do get a run in the inning and tie this game 2-2 after 2 from Denver.
We head to the top of the third inning here at Coors Field. A little injury update for you. First of all, the most relevant news to today, Austin Hedges, as you heard, a late scratch before the ball game. Everything was good all the way up until he started to do batting practice and full baseball activities. At that point, he didn't feel quite right. Some fuzziness returned. Now, the good news is the Padres still say that he does not have symptoms of concussion, so they are hopeful that he will not have to go on the 7-day DL for concussion symptoms. He's hoping that he'll be back tomorrow. We'll wait and see. Who knows? It might be just the thin air here affecting his ability to focus at this point. Hunter Renfroe, good news on him. Everything seems to be going in the right direction after he strained his neck right before the All-Star break. He's going through baseball activities right now, and the Padres are hopeful that when he becomes eligible at the end of this road trip off the 10-day DL that he'll be able to be activated. And more good news, Yangervis Solarte swinging the bat from both sides now. He's going through full baseball activities as well. Again, after the road trip, maybe he's ready for a rehab assignment and will be joining the team shortly thereafter. So a little bit frustrating with Austin Hedges, but otherwise some good news, guys.
All right, Scan, thanks very much. It'd be good to get some of these guys back. And it appeared Hedges was going to be good to go tonight in that starting lineup again, but unfortunate news before the game. Hopefully it'll be just another day here. But Scan brings up an interesting point, though. The elevation here, without question, makes a difference.
Hey, I'm dizzy right out of the chute anyway at sea level. You get me up here at 5,200.
Yeah, you're dizzy in San Diego, not Denver.
It's tough as we take a look at the Purple Mountain's majesty. It's, if you're not used to it, and there are some people that can adjust to it fine. I find it kind of difficult to adjust.
I know a lot of sweating and heavy breathing as you walk around. Who's with you today for lunch? There's the Mile High line right there.
The purple seats, yeah.
We are below it. This one fouled off towards the end of the Rockies dugout into it.
Very dry. You have to stay hydrated. How about you? You have trouble sleeping at night?
No, I feel great. Carlos Suaje leading it off here, taking a pitch in the dirt, 2-2. Took a nice run today.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Feel good. Not a problem. Suaje, Myers, and Sanchez featured here in the inning.
Did you run to the ice cream store?
That is a fair ball inside the bag at third down the left field line. Ian Desmond going to play it. Zwahe headed for second base, and he will get to second with a double. Zwahe 2 for 2 in the ball game tonight.
First at bat, pulling it to right field early on the fastball. This one just swatting at Shillelagh the other way in between Arenado and the pillow. Oh, that's got double written all over it.
So it's second to begin things here in the third inning, and it brings up Will Myers. A strikeout victim in the first was Will, getting his second look at Marquez. Two hits yesterday for Myers. Loves facing the Rockies. 42 total games against Colorado. .335 average with 10 home runs and 35 runs batted in. In there for a strike.
See, Marquez starts to pitch backwards like he did there. 1-0 breaking ball for a called strike to even the count at 1-1.
Swing and a miss. Myers fooled there. He was expecting the fastball, didn't get it.
Pitchers remember at bats. That first at bat, remember he struck him out of the breaking ball? You would think that he would counter with the breaking ball here with 2 strikes. And since May 10th at home, lowest ERA, Marquez, top 5.
Swing and a miss for Myers on a pitch in the dirt. And taking third base is Zwahe. Throwing down to first base to throw out Myers to complete that strikeout. As Zwahe takes third base, 1 down in the inning. Myers striking out for the second time tonight.
Heads up play by Carlos. Look at secondary lead, shuffle, shuffle. He sees daylight. He doesn't even stop and think about it. He's off and running. That's heads up. Catcher's got to get to that baseball. Chance of him throwing him out at third, very, very low chance of doing that. That's heads up.
So 1 down is Zwahe at third, and it brings up Hector Sanchez. Chance here to put the Padres on top again.
Whoa.
Slipped out of his hand there as he falls behind 2-0. One out. Zwahe at third base. Hector Sanchez. With Jose Pirela waiting on deck. And the pitch a tad high at 97 miles an hour. So down to first goes Sanchez on the walk. That is the second walk allowed by Marquez. First and third with 1 out. Closed captioning for tonight's game is brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel. Jose Pirela flying out to right field. First time up against Marquez. Getting his second look at him tonight. And a grounder sharply to third. Arenado picks it to second for 1. On to first for 2. Nice play down there at third base by Arenado. Padres do not score in the inning. What a play by one of the best third basemen in the game, if not the best third baseman in the game. Time now for the Arco top tier player profile, and Charlie Blackmon has added to his numbers tonight with a home run to start it in the bottom of the first inning. His 22nd most home runs, batting in the #1 spot of the lineup, only behind George Springer of the Houston Astros in that category, who has 27. Blackmon with 22, and Dozier and Gardner and Betts with 15 each. But he's got average to go along with that power, so that's home run number 22, RBI number 65, but he's also hitting at 320 coming into tonight's action. So this guy does it all.
Yeah, the whole package, and what a great way to get on the board. They put pressure on the defense, the other team, with a guy like Charlie Blackmon. I mean, almost, I'm going back in time a lot, but talk about one of the greatest, if not the greatest leadoff hitter of all time, Ricky Henderson, right? The home run was a big key in his game with the speed. And
Blackmon drives in runs too, which is hard to figure out. You think about it. I mean, the guy's got 64 RBIs, now 65. That means the bottom of the order is on base for him a lot in this Rockies order. Blackmon, LeMahieu, and Arenado scheduled to bat here in the bottom of the third inning for the Rockies in a 2-2 ball game. Domo trying to settle in here. Gave up a run in the first on the home run. Gave up a run in the second.
how about Ricky Henderson? Speaking of Ricky.
Speaking of Ricky?
Yeah. Leading off a game, hitting a home run 81 times.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. That's the lead off a game.
It's a good start.
Yeah.
Got the chance to be around him for a year, one season at the end of his career. That's a special guy right there.
Yes, he is. Great teammate, they say. He might not know your name, but he's a great teammate.
3-1 pitch is down low, ball 4. And Blackmon down to first base. That's the first walk given up by Perdomo. And down on the count, ends up walking him. This is the third straight inning the Rockies have had the lead runner on.
And there you go. Once again, another feather in the cap for Charlie Blackmon. The power, the average, taking a walk, knowing the strike zone, and passing it on to DJ LeMahieu.
LeMahieu, last year's batting champion, and when we last saw him, he's kind of struggling at the plate, but he's back now since June the 15th. This kind of production has got him back to the 315 mark overall, hitting at 435 since that point.
Yeah, DJ has been dealing with a groin issue, trying to protect that. Still in the lineup, obviously, but that's one of the reasons why he did not play in the All-Star game, because of that groin. So chances are you have him hit one on the ground. Good double play candidate.
Sure, Perdomo hurt himself on that delivery, kind of landed funky, and now works on the landing spot a little bit. Right at the end, kind of a little bit of a hop there. Favoring his foot, it appeared. Mayhew pops it up. Suaje's second baseman going out. Coming in is Margot. Margot can't get it, but he knocks it down and keeps it in front of him. He'll get up and get it back into the infield, but a bloop single for LeMahieu as Blackmon takes second base.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you just witnessed a Coors Field special. You have to respect DJ LeMahieu's pop the opposite way in the outfield. You're playing kind of on the deep side, right? And look at Margot. He's got a long way to go. Suaje, Ibar have a long way to go. What a great effort by Manuel. But just can't come up with it. That is a long way to run.
So 2 on, nobody out here in the third inning. These have been stress innings, each and every one of them so far for Perdomo out of the gate. He's had to work with men on the entire game so far. Nolan Arenado fly to right his first time up. 6-game hitting streak coming in. Blackmon got the inning started with a walk. Blackmon had 2 at-bats, 9 pitches. while the rest of the team had seen just 16 pitches. This year with runners in scoring position, Arenado hitting at .386 with 7 homers and 56 runs batted in. Chases that, and it evens at 1-1.
That's a great pitch. Behind in the count, throwing the breaking ball. Marquez did it last half inning. And you know what, overall, I think this Padre pitching staff has really pitched Arenado quite well. He will chase. He'll chase the breaking ball down and away. He'll chase the fastball up.
Chases that, finds himself down 1-2.
That slider almost looked like it backed up on him a little bit. Slider at 85. Wants to bounce it right here.
Nicely blocked by Sanchez. No advance for the base runners.
Hey, that's all right. Even though he didn't swing at it right, that's exactly what Hector wanted. Wanted it in the dirt, and that's where he got it.
First and second, nobody out. Big spot right here. The count of 2-2 to Arenado. Gerardo Parra waiting on deck. Grounded foul into the Padres dugout. They're housed on the third base side here at Coors Field. Pretty big crowd on hand here tonight at Coors Field.
Yeah, there's a buzz in the air.
Rock pile is filled up out there. Up on top of the standing area on the top deck. That's a huge area that they added a couple of years ago, and it was a great spot up there. There's a rock pile filled up tonight. And way up top up there. Yeah, right field on top. Big standing area here now, which is great. 2-2. Grounded softly towards short. Ibar charging in, and he can't get it. It's under his glove. Suaje will back him up, fortunately. But instead of an out at first base, ends up with nothing. Ball kind of died. Didn't come up the way he thought it was going to. And ends up under his glove, and the bases end up loaded with nobody out.
Eric Ibar, you know, he's been around the block a long time. As look, he's set up, he is charging. A very makeable play. Looks like he just came up on that ball. Ball stayed down on him a little bit. Does it hit the lip? Hits right before the lip. And it looks like after the second look, ball kind of stayed down on him a little bit, anticipating.
They charge him with an error. E6 on the play. Loads the bases for Gerardo Parra. Parra grounded out to the shortstop first time up.
You know, there are plays you look at, right? And that's a makeable play. That's a play as a shortstop. Eric Ibar, he's got to make that play. He'd probably be the first one to say, you know what? He'll go up to Luis Perdomo and probably say, you know what? I've got to make that play.
So bases loaded here, nobody out. And it straightens up Parra again. Fastball, 2-0.
Tell you what, Perdomo's got to get the magician hat and cape out right here in the magic wand. Try to work some magic here in this inning with nobody out.
Trying to minimize the damage here. Allowed a run in the first, a run in the second. And a bases loaded, nobody out jam here in the third inning. Behind 3-0. There's a strike, 3-1. Now Parra with the bases loaded this year, 2 for 5 with a double and 4 runs batted in. In the air to shallow left. Perella coming in. He will get himself set as he makes the catch. Blackman is not going to go, and the throw is cut off. So that's a big out right there as Parra retired. Nicely done for the first out, and now Perdomo can try to get a double play here from Mark Reynolds.
And the 20th pitch coming up in this inning for Luis. 1/3 of the way there, big boy. And you know, I really had to do a triple check and quadruple check on these numbers. The Rockies this year with the bases loaded, with fewer than 2 outs, 353. With 2 outs, 364. Got his work cut out for him.
One down here, Mark Reynolds. His career a .250 hitter in this spot. Has 4 grand slams on his resume. Ball 1. Inning started with Blackman walking. Mayhew a single. Arenado reached on the error by the shortstop Ibar.
Yes, he did.
Called by the home plate umpire, Jerry Meals, and our own Mark Grant. Ball and a strike. Two and one.
That's good movement of the two-seamer at 95. Hector almost boxed that one. That ball had so much movement to it.
Inside for ball 3. Tough spot against a good hitter here, and a hitter's count. Got Ian Desmond waiting on deck. Rockies lineup has gotten healthy. It's much longer now than it was. Outside, ball 4, and he walks in a run. From third comes Charlie Blackman. Second walk of the inning. And the Rockies have taken a 3-2 lead. Aaron Balsley, the pitching coach for the Padres, headed out there. Credit Reynolds with an RBI and the bases loaded walk.
I think sometimes pitchers have a tendency to be too fine. That may have been the case there. Darren Balsley looks like he's talking towards Eric Ibar and Sanchez to maybe help out with Luis, but also with the amount of pitches, you know, this inning, that's a workout. Over 20 pitches this inning.
Yeah, 20 pitches in the first 2 innings and over 20 pitches here in the third.
So to give him a little bit of a breather as well.
Well, Ian Desmond already has a grand slam this year against the Padres. That was against Jose Torres earlier this season. He has 3 grand slams in his career. That's with the bases loaded, 1 down. Rockies on top 3-2. Ball 1.
Five straight balls from Luis.
The numbers against the Padres overall this year, 357 in 7 games in the season series. He's been healthy. 2-0, and that's 6 straight balls right now for Perdomo. He's having a tough time finding the strike zone.
You know, as a pitcher, mentally, you got to think to yourself, okay, 1 pitch gets me out of this mess. 2-0, everything's looking in the favor offensively for Colorado with the bases loaded, but hey, let's think 67% right here. Ground ball rate.
On the corner.
Thank you. Looked like it might have been off the plate a little bit, huh?
He'll take it.
Absolutely.
Craig Stammen warming up in the pen. First action we've seen out there in the pen. Fouled off, and it evens up at 2-2. Well, I mentioned the grand slam for Ian Desmond off Jose Torres. It was at Petco Park. earlier this season back on June the 3rd. So one of the 3 grand slams that he's had in his career. That's with 1 out, bases loaded here in the 3rd inning. 2-2. Outside for ball 3.
Boy, it's a tough pitch to lay off.
30th pitch of the inning coming up here for Perdomo. Trevor Story on deck for the Rockies. Outside, ball 4, and he's walked in another run. 3rd walk of the inning allowed by Perdomo, back-to-back here. And the Rockies add another run, take a 4-2 lead. And that'll bring up Trevor Story. Story has singled to drive in a run in the 2nd inning. Picked up his 38th RBI of the year. I guess with the Rockies, you might want to be patient here right now because Perdomo's not throwing strikes. Walked Reynolds with the bases loaded. Watched Desmond with the bases loaded.
Remember, Story swung early his last at bat.
He does again and fouls it off.
Starts him off with the first pitch breaking ball there.
Wait for him to go the other way. Manuel Margot, the center fielder, over towards right center. Well off the line and left too is Perella. If he were to pull this ball down the line and left, he'd be running a long time. Takes the strike and is down 0-2. Arenado at 3rd, Reynolds at 2nd, Desmond at 1st. With 1 out here in the 3rd inning already. 2 runs in here for the Rockies. In the dirt, gets away from Sanchez, but not far enough for anybody to try to take off.
You know, Don, you're absolutely right. When you look at Perella in left, he's about a good 100 feet from the left field line because it's obviously 90 feet from 3rd base to 2nd base. And when you line that up and draw a line, he's a good probably, look at how, in fact, more like 110 feet.
Yeah.
120 feet.
You go right down the line there to that corner.
Yeah.
Wow. The Padres are not planning on him pulling the ball.
So what that tells me, don't hang him a breaking ball middle in, something you can turn on.
And he pulls it into left. From 3rd comes Arenado. Reynolds come around from 2nd. Desmond will stop at 3rd. It's a 2-run double and it's a 6-2 Rockies lead.
Well, it was a breaking ball. Speeds up his bat. It wasn't up over the plate, just below the knees probably. But the thing is, breaking ball speeds up his bat, beats the defense that we were just talking about.
Two more runs for the Rockies. That ends the night for Luis Perdomo. Rockies have a 6-2 lead. Pitching change from Denver, Colorado. Baseball brought to you by GMC. By Sequan Casino. Sign up for the Padres Club Card today. And by Papa John's Pizza. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's, proud partner of the San Diego Padres. Well, the night for Luis Perdomo, chased after allowing 6 runs, still responsible for the 2 men on at second and third right now. The infield in. Tony Walters, the batter, number 8 hitter for the Rockies. And a swing and a miss for strike 1. New pitcher is Craig Stammen. The pitching change is brought to you by El Cajon Ford.
I call him Mr. Reliable, but it's time for to put the tourniquet out there and stop the bleeding. And I think this is just your guy. Pitched a third of an inning yesterday against the Giants. He's got good numbers against these Rockies. A 1.50 ERA. That's 4 appearances. You might see multiple innings also from Craig Stammen.
On the ground to second with the infield in is Wahe coming home, and the throw will be in time. Nicely tagged there by Sanchez. Held on to the baseball, applied the tag on Desmond. 4-2 on the put out at the plate.
Nicely executed. Infield is in, and on the first move, the runner's going. And you know what? It looked like Hector was out in front of home plate there before he had the ball. I don't know whether the Rockies are going to challenge anything.
Doesn't appear they will. First and third with 2 down, and Herman Marquez standing in. Got it into a double play first time up. The Rockies pitcher.
You know, your scorecard, if you're scoring here, Coors Field, or even at home, you get very messy early. I like when it gets messy on the Padres side, but I don't like when it gets messy on the Rocky side. I don't like that.
Pretty messy here in the third inning
Yeah.
right now. Here's a grounder back up the middle, and as Wahe dives, he'll throw late, and scoring from third is Trevor Story. 7-2 Colorado.
Bloop singles, infield hits, and this ball was just out of the reach. Wow, close for Craig. Right out of the reach of the pitcher, Craig Stammen, and a great effort by Carlos at second base. It's worth another look. On the short hop and quickly up to his feet. And a nice job by Will Myers. See him there abandoning the bag there and getting in front of that baseball on that short hop.
So they bat around here. Charlie Blackmon walked to begin the inning, scored. Now he bats for the second time. Just off the outside edge.
You know, relievers, Don, really take pride in leaving inherited runners out there. You know, it's not going to happen every time. He made a good pitch, got a ground ball just out of his reach, and that's going to happen, especially in this ballpark.
Fouled back, pretty good rip right there. 1-1. Walters at second base, Marquez at first. It's been a 5-run third inning so far for Colorado. This game was tied 2-2 when the inning began. On the corner that time. Stammen coming in here for Perdomo. Perdomo still responsible for Walters, who's at second base. So far charged with these 7 runs. On the ground to Asuaje at second base. That's the out that will end the inning, but the damage is done. The Rockies score 5 times. Take a 7-2 lead. To the 4th we go. As we play along here to the 4th inning after a big 5-run 3rd inning for Colorado. Rockies now enjoy a 7-2 lead, as does German Marcus, as Perdomo left this game after 2 1/3. Gives up the 5 runs in the inning. 3 of them were earned. There's a bunt bid by Spangenberg that is fouled off.
Washington Nationals, huh? Well, you look at their bullpen, and as the boys back home were mentioning, those acquisitions going into today's action, they are 15th in the National League with a 5.31 ERA. But yet 9.5 games ahead in the NL East. Now 56 and 36 for Dusty Baker's Nats.
Better with the addition of Sean Doolittle. Ryan Madsen going to the pen. That helps.
Sure.
Doolittle, very good closer. One time for the Oakland A's. Throws hard. And that's one area we saw with the Nationals they really need. Back end of the pen help. They got it. In there for strike 3. Spangenberg's the first out of the 4th inning.
Got him with the breaking ball. Corey kind of gave up on this one as it's a curve ball and right down the middle. Maybe looking for the heater there in that situation. Or the break fooled him. Gave up on it.
One down for Jabari Blash. Homer in the 2nd inning. 2-run shot.
So 5 runs here in 1 inning. Is that a big inning?
It's on the cusp of being a big inning for me, even though it is Coors Field.
See, I still think that's just a big inning. That's not a huge inning because it can change in a heartbeat here.
No, it's not game over by any means.
No. Down by 5? Really? It's still, just the 4th inning.
Plenty of time.
one thing is for sure, you can't try to have it all on your own shoulders as a hitter. You got to work a walk, a single here,
maybe a base runner,
maybe a miscue. Yes, multiple base runners, and then you pop one.
Evens up at 2-2 here to Blash. Home run he hit to right center field. His third of the year. Eric Ibar waiting on deck. Full count to Jabari Blash. Base is empty here in front of him as he drives one to center field, sending Charlie Blackmon back towards the track, but he'll make the catch shy of it, run under it. So it's out number 2 of the 4th inning.
Did he get it on him a little bit, or was he a little bit too quick to that off the end of the bat? Because it really doesn't have that clean, crisp sound to it off the sweet spot, does it?
I think he had a pretty good jump.
97.
You talking about Charlie Blackmon, or are you talking about Jabari Blash?
Talking about Jabari.
Oh,
whether
talking about Charlie Black.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's the altitude.
Yeah.
Whether it got in him a little bit or off the end of the bat, or a little bit too quick.
Okay.
Because it didn't have that sound.
No, you're right.
Yeah. Put a good swing on it.
Now 2 down here in the 4th inning. Ibar's second look at Marquez tonight, grounded out to the second baseman, DJ LeMahieu, in the 2nd inning.
I've always felt after an inning where you score 4, 5, 6 runs, at least if you score 1 the next half, I think that's key.
Popped up, foul ground, backing out of play. On the other side, you're always hoping for that shutdown inning after you take the lead for the pitcher. Padres playing good baseball. Won 3 straight series. Cleveland, Philadelphia, or recently San Francisco. There's a grounder right side, LeMahieu. 1, 2, 3, 4th inning for Marquez, a 7-2 Rockies lead. Trucks.
Let's go back to yesterday. San Francisco Giants, a hard hit ball off the bat of Hunter Pence. And Don Orsillo, I ask you, the infield guru, what's it easier for an infielder to do? Go down to up or up to down?
I think down to up.
Absolutely. And we see it right there by Carlos Asuaje. Hunter Pence, he's really ticked off. Why? Because Carlos Asuaje takes away a base hit. Going to his right, and as you mentioned, it's easier for an infielder to go from down to up. Don't start up and go down. It's not good.
No, they teach you that.
Yeah, they teach
that's the instruction is you start up there, start down, I should say, and then work up.
Yes. Keep the glove down. It's easier for you to come up than it is to go down on a ball.
The ground up.
Yep.
DJ LeMahieu leading it off. LeMahieu singled as part of the big third inning. 5-run inning for the Rockies. Sent 10 men to the plate. 5 of them scored. Chased Perdomo from the game. Gave up 7 runs, 5 earned. Was an error mixed in there. Shortstop.
Did you play infield as an amateur?
I did.
Did you? What
Second base shortstop.
Yeah. Good footwork around the bag, huh?
Not really. Not particularly. By the way, you said amateur, right? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no pro career mixed in there. It ended in high school, really. Once I realized it wasn't happening.
Now you went to Northeastern.
Yeah.
I assume they have a baseball program.
Yeah.
Did you ever think about?
No.
You weren't good enough?
No, I knew in high school I was done. Carlos Pena came out of Northeastern.
That's right.
Their first strike, Adam Ottavino, who pitches for these Rockies, came out of Northeastern.
Any other notables?
That's pretty much it.
Hey, that's still good though.
Yeah, 2 guys in Major League Baseball. Some football players came out of there.
What are they known for? What's Northeastern, like lacrosse or something?
College hockey.
Oh, yeah.
Beanpot's big back there, the college hockey tournament. It's Harvard, Boston University, Boston College, and Northeastern.
All in Boston, right?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good list of institutions.
All within a couple miles of each other.
Yeah.
So college hockey's a big thing, really. Payoff pitch coming up here to LeMahieu. And that's ball 4. Stammen with a leadoff walk to LeMahieu. Nolan Arenado since 2015. See where he ranks in categories. Well, first in extra base hits, second in home runs, first in RBIs, third slugging percentage. Colorado Rockies.
A threat? Yes. Can he be pitched to? Absolutely. And the Padres pitchers have proven that over the course of time. And like any pitcher or pitching coach, going over scouting report, you have to execute that plan. I like Hector Sanchez also, as we take a look at Darren Balsley, the pitching coach. Hector Sanchez, he's got a little bit of cheerleader in him too, which I like.
And coach, I think, too.
Yeah.
And you often hear catchers are kind of an extension of the coaching staff anyway.
Sure.
Lead off first base for LeMahieu, held on over there by Myers. Working him away here. Second pitch has been away. 2-0. Throw to first, and back is LeMahieu. Rockies have scored in every inning so far. Stammen trying to stop that here in the 4th inning. 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 5 in the 3rd. Check swing foul. It gets a piece of Hector Sanchez, maybe that bare hand. So many times you see with catchers. Appears to be okay.
Fastball away. Get it out there.
On the ground to third. Spangenberg will go to second. Low throw dug out nicely by Iswahe. cannot dig it out at first. Myers unable to make the play there. They do get the lead runner in LeMahieu. Low throw from Spangenberg. 5-4 in the force out at second. Arenado will reach it first. So 1 out, 1 on.
I thought that was going to be a double dip of chocolate mousse right there. There's one scoop, and then the scoop on the second end. Myers can't come up with it. Fielder's choice 5-4 if you're scoring at home.
One out, 1 on. And Gerardo Parra getting his first look at Stammen. He was 0 for 2 against Perdomo. And a grounder through the right side into right field, a base hit. Arenado to second base on the single. And they're 2 on with 1 away here in the 4th inning. First hit of the inning for Colorado.
Attacking early. Fastball. Why not?
Two on, 1 out, and Mark Reynolds coming up. He's been on twice, a double and a walk. Last walk, he was able to drive in a run. Bases loaded walk for Reynolds. Craig Stammen first out of the pen as Perdomo chased from this game after 2 1/3 innings tonight. Pitched well against Colorado this year, 1.50 earned run average against the Rockies. Tap foul back to the backstop, and it's 1-1.
Did you play hockey as a kid?
Yeah.
Really? I bet you were the goalie, right?
No.
Because you're so.
No, left wing, right hand shot.
Really?
Yeah.
I would think they'd put you between the pipes.
Just because I'm fat. I know what you're thinking. I wasn't always fat. On the ground to third base, Spangenberg will get another chance. The second for 1. Swahi gets out of the way and fires to first base for 2. So around the horn that goes 5-4 to 3 on the DP. And the Padres couldn't do it the first time. They get it done the second time. Nice play by Swahi to get out of the way at second.
These guys are on board, man. No mental hang-ups with pitching and relief. And what I like about them, no excuses. It's awesome. These guys just want to pitch, and they want to contribute. And you know, I think the old adage, if you ask a pitcher, hey, would you rather pitch in relief in the majors or start in the minors? You know the answer to that one. Yeah, that's right.
Rocky skipper Buddy Black talking about his young starters, specifically Kyle Friedman, who was recently put to the bullpen, and tomorrow's starter Antonio Sensatella, who was put in the bullpen briefly in an effort to save their innings. Now, a similar situation is coming up for the Padres, possibly for Luis Perdomo, in terms of trying to conserve the number of innings on the season. But so far, Andy has said, look, because of the time that Luis missed early in the season and at the All-Star break, they're not going to have to do anything. He should be fine with his innings this season. But it brings up an interesting topic, guys, of how do you save the innings on these young arms?
Well, that is something that has gone on over the last couple of years, too, especially Major League Baseball, really backing guys off, and especially early in their careers, and trying to limit the number of innings. There's a lot of guys, though, that may be moving to the bullpen to help bolster that bullpen in some instances as well, because the bullpen needed help here.
Yeah, the complete game has pretty much gone by the wayside. I mean, if you're being economical with your pitches and you're entering the 7th, 8th inning, chance you're going to smell that CG and get it, right? But hey, nowadays you go 6 innings, hand it over to the pen. You've got your specialty guys in the 7th and 8th.
Manuel Margot batting, and he lines one into left center field. Stammen headed towards second base, and 2 hits here in a row, back to back for the Padres. Ringing single for Stammen, the pitcher, to begin the inning, and now Margot with a single to center. So 2 on, nobody out.
Hey, Mud, question for you after this replay here.
Yeah, go right ahead, right-hander.
Love watching Manny Margot get himself back on track. By the way, in between innings, it was fun watching Al Zinter come over and give Manny Margot a little pep talk. He sat down, talked to him for a good couple of minutes about what he was doing up there, a little pat on the back, and whatever he said must have worked. Got him back on track.
Yeah, after the 2 punch-outs, and a tip of the cap. Nicely done, Bob. Alan Zinter getting the attention of Margot at first base and tipping the old lid and trying to go the back door on Stammen.
Snap throw to second base, trying to catch him napping.
But my question for you was your thoughts on transitioning some of these young starters over to the bullpen, only because it's a different way of warming up.
Oh, yeah.
Does it put additional stress? And I think about it only because of the recent loss of the Dodgers of Julio Urias, and they're moving him back and forth in an effort to do that. Any thoughts on whether that's a good way of doing it or not?
I think it takes time, Bob, and having to be a pitcher that did just that. You know, you get, you know, you see how a game develops, and if you're going to be a long guy, if you're going to be a short guy, if you're going to be a one-batter type guy, you get that call, you got to get up and get hot now. There's no time for routine. You can stretch out there and go through your, you know, little routine, but still, it's not like starting to where you got hours before to think about it. You can take your time, a half hour, 40 minutes before the game too. But I think it's a totally different ball game, no pun intended.
Now Marquez going to third base, kind of a soft toss there, and they barely get Stammen at third base. Not through a changeup as he came off the hill to make that play, and able to get the force out is Wahei Bunting there. And Stammen retired 1-5 on the force out.
It's almost, he kind of threw a dart over there. Does his foot stay on the bag?
That's what I was wondering. From my angle, and I'm right here at the third base bag, Mud, I thought I saw daylight.
I thought, you know what, Bob, I think you might be right. And here's a look for, I think Arenado came off the bag. No?
I would double check if they've got the third base camera here on that. I think you might see daylight there, but obviously they've got more access to cameras than just our couple of eyes.
Now first and second, 1 out. Will Myers fouls it off to the right out of play.
Bob, what are your thoughts on that point we were just talking about, starter to the bullpen?
I see why it makes sense. I like the fact that you keep the young player up in the big leagues. He continues to get exposed to the big league environment. He can still learn things, and here we see a list of the young pitchers that Buddy Black and his staff are trying to protect. On the other hand, I do think that it's so different in terms of your mental approach and your physical approach of getting ready that I would be very careful. I would not use these young guys in quick get-ready situations. It would be more, look, you've got a full inning to get ready. Make sure that they have plenty of time to get loose. But you know what else? But there's some of these kids that you send them down to try to save those innings, and it messes with their head.
Yep.
So I like keeping them up. I just got to be careful with giving them enough time to get loose.
Yeah, good points.
Myers fouls this down the left field line. Now the count 0-2. Go at second. Zwahe at first. One down.
I'm betting breaking ball right here. Ooh. Fastball at 98.
Seen that tonight from time to time from Marquez. 72 pitches deep into his outing. Go at second as Zwahe at first with one down. 2-2.
This is what we were talking about earlier, Don. Base runners, you get that part of the order up to where you can pop one. Hey, you work a walk here, it's still not the worst fate. You've got Sanchez with the bases loaded possibly, with only one out.
In there for strike 3, and Myers has struck out for the 3rd time tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is a fastball right down the middle of the plate. He's got to be looking something else. He's got to be looking breaking ball. He's got to have that number 2 in the back of his head, because that's frozen pizza right there.
6 strikeouts for Marquez. 2 down here in the 5th inning. Hector Sanchez, but first Tony Walters wants to talk to Marquez here. Rockies going into a shift on the right side. Sanchez tonight has fly to center and walk. See that shift deployed on the right side by the Rockies. Foul back to the screen. Sanchez last couple days been very impressive. The walk-off home run on Saturday night.
Did he go upper basket on that one?
He did. And then the 3-run home run yesterday. Fouled off over by the Rockies dugout. 0-2.
Mr. Right Side, Mr. Left Side. See him choking up on that shillelagh, getting a little bat control with 2 strikes. Got a game break coming up from South Florida. The Fightins and the Fish. Phillies, Marlins.
Hey, gone. He did, says third base umpire Ben May. Rung up is Hector Sanchez. Padres strand a pair halfway through. 7-2 Rockies. All right, Mike Mark, thanks very much. 7-2. Rockies have the lead here over the Padres. And Desmond leading it off here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Craig Stammen back out on the mound. He's been in the game since the 3rd inning. Finished the 3rd, worked the 4th, and out there for the 5th.
Craig has pitched 2 innings or more 13 of his 31 outings this season. 3 innings in 5 appearances.
Falls behind here, 3-0 to Desmond. Story and Walters to follow. It's 6, 7, and 8 here for the Rockies in the 5th. Fourth inning was the first time the Rockies had not scored in any inning. They had a run in the 1st, a run in the 2nd, 5 in the 3rd. Chop towards 3rd softly. Spangenberg racing in. Dug out by Myers on the other side.
MLB.tv every night, every device. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live. Plus, get a free subscription to @Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
One down here in the 5th, and it brings up Trevor Story.
Hey, Will Myers has saved an error. Corey Spangenberg over at 3rd base. It's a nice scoop.
Story 2 for 2. Single and a double. He's driven in 3 runs. Off the end of the bat, kind of squib foul. A lot of spin, but it'll stay foul.
Have you ever seen a ball come back?
Yes.
I have too.
That much spin.
Yeah.
Rolls right back in again. I've seen one land with spin that totally baffled me. I had no idea what happened. It's a really bad feeling. It's play-by-play announcer. Something happens and you can't explain it. A pop-up between home plate and the mound.
Right.
3 guys go after it. Ball lands between home plate and the mound and then rolls past the line to the right.
It's a foul ball.
Right.
Nobody touched it.
I had no idea what happened. I couldn't figure it out. Never crossed my mind.
You mean what you mean?
Exactly what you
not
just said.
The ruling, or
no, I'm like, wait a minute. There were like 4 guys going after this one ball.
Right.
And it lands.
Okay.
And so all of a sudden you're just like, oh, that's going to be a base hit. But there was so much spin on the ball that it just kept going and going and going. And
so why didn't you just say that?
Because it didn't cross my mind. I'm thinking it's a base hit. Why isn't he going to first base?
It's got to go beyond the bag, then foul. But if it's not touched and it goes in front of the bags, foul. It's a foul ball.
Boxed it. Not good.
Shocker.
Yeah. But things like that happen every now and again. And then
on radio.
You keep it. I was doing radio at the time.
See, now that would be kind of tough when you don't see
really
something
bad,
like that.
Yeah, when I'm explaining it. TV would have been real bad, because everybody would have seen it.
Well, that's when you keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
Right?
It's the beauty of radio, especially when you're in the minor leagues. It's even better.
Do you have a big following in the minor leagues as far as listeners? I mean, those small towns.
I mean, if you take it, the amount of people. Yeah, I mean, the
but
fan base
they love their minor league team.
Love their minor league.
So they're always listening to the radio.
Sure.
Yeah.
Team goes on the road.
I could see where there'd be a big audience.
More on the road than at home.
Sure.
But I was completely perplexed. All these guys standing between home plate and the mound, ball hits, and then all that spin takes place. It never crossed my mind it was a foul ball. I don't know if I thought somebody touched it. I don't know. It's not that hard. It's just not that smart. That's part of the problem. 2-2 pitch. And that's in the dirt. Ball 3.
In fact, that was always one of the trivia questions, because, you know, reading the rule book and stuff, you always ask somebody, let's say somebody hits a line drive, and anything's possible in this game of baseball. Somebody hits a line drive, and it hits the front of the pitcher's rubber, because, you know, it gets dug out there, right?
Yep.
From guys from the wear and tear. That ball hits the rubber and then bounces in between home plate and third base over towards the dugout. What's the call?
That's a base hit.
It's a foul ball because it did not touch anybody. It's got to
Whoa,
touch a
whoa,
player.
wait a minute.
It's got to touch a player.
Whoa, this one is grounded down the first baseline. You're telling me that a guy hits the rubber,
Yes.
a line drive, and it goes foul to the dugout.
It hits the front of the rubber. You know where the rubber is?
I know where the rubber is. I'm talking. Yeah.
It gets dug out in front where the guy pushes off.
Right.
So it hits a line drive. It got so much top spin, and it could happen where it hits the rubber.
Yes.
And then bounces.
Foul.
Foul. It's a foul ball.
Really?
Yes, because it's had to touch a player, and it didn't go beyond the bags. Now, if it hits the rubber and goes beyond the bag,
I'm glad that hasn't happened because I would mess that up.
No, I'm just saying anything's possible in this game, and it's in the rule book to where it says if that happens, it's a foul ball.
Have you seen it happen?
No, I've never seen it happen.
Ball 4. And down to first base goes Trevor Story with 1 out. Step down for our San Diego's fans of the game.
Oh, there's Chris on the left and Susie on the right. Our flight attendants on our charters.
They do a great job taking care of Mud, especially.
Oh, they love you.
The amount of food that Mud has during the charters. They are our San Diego fans of the game. Oh, now 1 on. Tony Walters will take strike 1. Bud's deep into the rule book now. He's not sure of himself.
No, I'm definitely sure.
You're sure?
I'm positive. Oh, see the pitch.
Swing and a miss. Go ahead.
Royal. Rule 2.0, foul ball, comment. Quote, a batted ball not touched by a fielder, which hits the pitcher's rubber and rebounds into foul territory between home and first or between home and third is a foul ball.
Wow. I'm so glad that's never happened to me.
Page 13 in your rule book, rule 2.00.
Wow.
Sorry about it.
I'm stunned by that. Runner goes at first. Pitch swung on. Fly ball. Shallow left. Spangenberg out. Perella in. Perella will make the running catch and fires to first with a chance for a double play. No. Pretty close over there at first base.
That was close.
Story was trying to steal the base to second when that ball went up in the air and then had trouble getting back and barely made it back according to the umpires. To see if the Padres challenge.
There goes the runner, popped up, and you can see the runner. Story, he recognizes the ball and then he retreats back. Nice stretch by Will Myers. Oh, I think they got him.
Yeah, they are going to challenge.
Oh, he's out.
Oh, yeah. That's a double play right there.
Absolutely. You know what? I'm so confident. I'm marking it in my book already.
Oh, yeah.
Because his foot was still on the bag, right?
Yep. Will Myers knows he got it. See what the umpires agree here. Calling the field was safe. See if this is overturned or not. Umpires looking up at the big board there for a while as well.
You know what I'm guessing they're looking at?
What's that? Whether he stayed on the bat?
Did Will pull his foot?
He is now out, so it is a double play. 7-3 on the put out at first. The DP ends the 5th. We head into the 6th. 7-2 Rockies. started fast for the Rockies in the bottom of the first inning. Charlie Blackmon with a home run, a blast to right field. 22nd home run of the year. But the Padres had an answer, and Jabari Blash with a 2-run home run to right center field gave the Padres a 2-1 advantage. Rockies would get a run back, and then a big third inning. Bases loaded, walks back to back. So Reynolds and Desmond set the stage for Trevor Story, who would drive in 2 with a double down the left field line, and turned out to be a 5-run third inning. A 7-2 Rockies lead. Also was the end for Luis Perdomo. Lasted 2 1/3. Ooh. Look out. Jose Pirela right up and in. 1-1. Now Perdomo 2 1/3, 6 hits, 7 runs. 5 of the runs were earned. Walk 3, did not strike anybody out. Meanwhile, German Marquez out there for his 6th inning of work. It's pitch 81 for the right-hander. Pirela 0 for 2 has fly to right, grounded into a 6-4-3 double play.
Don't you love the rule book? I love the rule book. I really do.
I'm not a fan.
Really?
It's bad reading. I don't enjoy reading it.
You have to.
I know. I like it. I would like it to be dumbed down so that I could understand a lot of the stuff. And I have seen dumbed down renditions where you can read it and it helps.
You make a good point.
It's hard.
Here's what I'm more of a visual type.
Yeah, I want
like when
pictures.
it comes to instructions.
Yeah, I want pictures.
I would like to see video of it. Like for instance, whatever rule, I want to see it in action. The runners on base.
Show it to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it is a tough read, but I think it'll make you
a real tough read.
It'll make you appreciate. I think the game
didn't go according to Ron Culpa, first base umpire.
It's kind of neat though when you know the rules, and there's one of those funky situations to where everybody's like scratching their head, but it's like, yeah, I know the answer to that.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 8 for Marquez. 3 in a row now for Marquez at Ben by way of the K.
Straight heater. We've seen the heater anywhere from 95 to 99, and that one's got a little bit of movement on the inner half.
So 1 out. There is Corey Spangenberg, singled in the 2nd and struck out in the 4th inning. You smell something burning?
I do, actually. I don't have any shoelaces, so those are okay.
To second base, LeMahieu. On to first, 2 down.
Well, German Marquez has 7. Check that, 8 strikeouts. How's he getting? Well, right out of the chute. One of the things that we mentioned is the live arm. Well, he'll mix in the curveball too. Pretty much a 2-pitch pitcher. Fastball, 95 and above. Breaking ball, curveball at 82, 84. Get some hitters looking, both righties and lefties. And you know, when you have that breaking ball in the back of your mind as a hitter, he'll sneak that fastball by you and vice versa. So he's pitching quite well tonight.
2 down, and Jabari Blash 1 for 2 in the ball game. Just showed you his 2-run home run in the 2nd inning and flied out deeply to center field in the 4th inning. Four in a row retired by Marquez. Strike 3 call. 9 strikeouts for Marquez. Padres down in order in the 6th. Rockies have a 7-2 lead. crowd tonight in Colorado for game 1 of this 3-game series between the Padres and the Rockies. And the Rockies have a 7-2 lead as we head to the last half of the 6th inning. Padres will use their 3rd pitcher of the night, Kevin Quackenbush, into the game.
Well, Kevin is 9-7 with 6 saves and 90 lifetime appearances in the NL West. Last time out was against the Giants. It was yesterday for an inning. He gave up a hit. Well, he's got to figure out against the righties, because lefties, he's really having a field day at 175 opponent's batting average, but righties almost hitting 370 off Kevin.
Part of the double switch. Alan Cordoba now in at 3rd base, so he will bat 2nd when the Padres come up in the 7th inning. Marcus batting for himself here. 90 pitches in his outing. He leads it off in the bottom of the 6th inning. 1 for 2 in the ball game.
You know, we got some really nice people working at our hotel, aren't they?
Yes.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Hey, there's a guy there, kid. His name's Thomas Schaefer. I've known him over the years, getting to know him over the years. Really nice kid. Well, his grandmother lives in North County, San Diego. She watches every game.
Nice.
98 years young, Rachel Townsend.
Nice.
Rachel, thank you so much. We appreciate you watching. And all the best to you. You have a great grandson, Thomas. He does a fine job. Fine young man. Rachel Townsend, 98 years young, Padre fan. Watches every night.
Marcus strikes out, and that is Quackenbush's first strikeout. 1 down here in the 6th inning. Back up top now for Charlie Blackmon. Blackmon with a home run back in the 1st inning. Solo shot. Walked and scored in the 3rd. Grounded out to 2nd base. Also in the 3rd. Batted twice. Rockies batted around in that 3rd inning. Scored 5 times. On the ground down the first baseline, a foul ball.
Here's a great little nugget as far as rules are concerned. Let's say there's a runner on base, whatever, first base, and a pitch goes back to the screen. Live ball. I've seen this happen, and it happened to a Hall of Famer, Mike Piazza. He goes back to the screen. He takes his mask off and scoops up the ball with his mask to put in his glove. 3-base error.
Whoa.
Cannot use your equipment other than your glove.
Yep, it's like throwing your glove,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yep.
On the ground, foul outside of first. Sounds like he fractured his back. So Blackmon will need a new one. Yeah, that one I knew.
What, you break your bat, you get a new one?
No.
Oh.
You can't use any part of your equipment other than your glove.
Right.
Hitting the rubber and going, I don't know, because it hits something, you know.
It's got to hit the player.
It's like hitting the bag at first, hitting the bag at second. It's fair.
Right.
You know, I mean, I figured if it hit the rubber, it would be fair. But what do I know? Nothing.
Well, you've learned something tonight.
I have. That had to have happened at some point.
That's in the book, right? You have to think of every possible scenario.
To right field, Blash coming in, and he'll play it on a hop, knocks it down. Charlie Blackmon on for the 3rd time with his 2nd hit. Didn't hang up long enough for Blash to be able to make the catch. Went into the slide to try to grab it.
That could have been trouble, because if this ball gets by Jabbar, oh, he drew leather on it, just couldn't hang on to it. That's a big kid right there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. One out, one on. DJ LeMahieu. Line drive foul just beyond the Rockies dugout.
Washington beat the Reds tonight 6-1. Game was in Cincinnati. 4-2. Buccos over the Brewers in the Steel City.
Fouled off to the right, back into the seats. So 0-2 here. Mayhew fouling some pitches off from Kevin Quackenbush. In the air to right field, sending Blash back a few steps, has room, and makes the catch for out number 2. Tagging, trying to get to second, not on Jabari Blash. Thrown out is Charlie Blackmon. Catch out there in right field for LeMahieu, who is retired by Blash out there in right. Throw goes to second. Blackmon thought he beat it, but it looks like a double play that'll end this inning. No challenge here from the Rockies. Nicely done. Second double play turned by the Padres in the last 2 innings from the outfield. Catch there. Blackmon out at second base. Baseball brought to you by Jack in the Box. Come try the new sweet or spicy barbecue bacon cheeseburger and chicken sandwich for a limited time only. By Petco, where the pets go. And by the all-new 2017 Subaru Impreza. Subaru symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 28 miles per gallon. More than a car, it's a Subaru. It's on to the 7th inning. 7-2. Rockies have the lead over the Padres. Eric Ibar made the catch on that throw from right field from Jabari Blash that turned a double play. As a 2-hopper to first base. Reynolds going to need help, and covering is Marquez for the first out here of the 7th inning. Now it's time for the Unlimited Baseball break, brought to you by T-Mobile. Gregory Polanco 4 for 4. Part of a 4-2 win against the Brewers. Giancarlo Stanton, 2 home runs. We showed you earlier. 24th career multi-home run game. And Steven Strasburg, 7 innings, 1 run, 11 Ks, and a 6-1 win at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati. His 6th start with 10+ strikeouts this year for the Nationals.
Well, you know, you look at those teams, the Pirates, the Nationals running away with it, but as we get into late July, August, that wild card standings becomes more and more evident, and teams trying to make that move. You know, Mark Sweeney made a good point about a month ago. We were talking about, I think it was an inside corner between Mark and I. And he predicted that there was going to be 3 teams out of the West going to the playoffs. And it looks like he nailed it. Yep. Dodgers, D-backs, Rockies.
Cordoba grounds it up the middle. Story will spin and fire, and it'll be wild. Off the facing of the Rockies dugout, Cordoba will reach. Nice try by Story to do that spin back at second base.
Oh, nice dive over there by Reynolds as well. You get the good care of him too. That ball comes right back to Reynolds after he does the scorpion at first base. No, you don't like scorpions.
I don't like scorpions.
I don't like scorpions.
1 out, 1 on. Manuel Margot, the batter. Of course, to that second wild card scenario now in that wild card game, and so many more teams believing they're in it, and you don't want to send the wrong message to your fan base or your clubhouse by starting to trade guys away,
right,
and selling too early. So it's a predicament, I think, for some teams at the moment. Is Jake McGee, the hard-throwing left-hander, up in the pen for the Rockies. First action we've seen out there tonight for Colorado.
No, Don, you make a great point. Fan perception, the players think in the clubhouse. I mean, because players are always going to be thinking positively, right?
Yep.
They always want to try to add to make the team better. You know, Bud Black said before the game for these Rockies, they would always, like a lot of teams, would like bullpen help as we take a look at the NL wild card tonight.
Right now, the season were to end today, you're looking at an Arizona-Colorado one game.
Yeah.
The Cubs starting to turn it on here in the second half, starting to be more like the Cubs. A great addition of Quintana really helped out.
How about that outing
Yeah,
he had?
pretty good debut.
Right?
1-2 to Margot. Will have to wait. Another check, and this one, they got a piece of Cordoba. Gets away. He'll head to second base, and this one gets thrown away. But backed up, a little ugly here from the Rockies. Throwing the ball around. Cordoba ends up at second base.
I thought this ball may have gotten Cordoba's arm or off his back. Any way you look at it, that's a free 90 feet.
Charge a pitcher with the error. Marquez on the throw over, so E1 gets him to second. Chop to third. Fair ball. Arenado's throw in time. Wow. Nice play. Came down on his feet after making the catch. Made sure it was a fair ball. It was called fair and then fired across the diamond. In time to get Margot 5-3 for the second out of the inning.
Well, he could throw with the crow hop, off balance, to his right, to his left. You know, it's not so much, I mean, the flashy glove is great and the gold glove is there to prove it, but the accuracy of the throw with the strength of that arm, it's the whole package. That was the 100th toss tonight for Herman Marquez.
Runner at second, 2 down. Carlos Wahe, 2 for 3 in the ball game. Single in the first, double in the third. Got it into a fielder's choice in the fifth. Line to left field. Desmond's not going to get there. Gets in for a hit. Around from second base comes Cordoba. To second goes Zwahe. An RBI double, and now it's 7-3 as the Padres get a run back here in the seventh.
Carlos using the whole field tonight. His first at bat, he punched one to right field. The last 2 times up, going the other way. Ball checks up on Desmond. Backing up is Blackman.
Well, the manager, Bud Black, headed to the mound here to make the pitching change with 2 outs. And this crowd will let Marquez know what they think of him. He'll depart with a 4-run lead.
was invented by a group of kids living at the beach who needed something to do on a hot summer day.
It's lively, it's exciting. You can be both a sports advocate or just a person who enjoys, a cold frosty beverage on the sand.
Tomorrow on Inside San Diego Sports, we take you behind the scenes of the 64th annual Over the Line World Championship on Fiesta Island. Tune in to San Diego Tradition tomorrow after Padres Live. Ever been out to OTL?
I have not.
Yeah. It's usually when we're on the, yeah, we were home, right? Last weekend?
Yeah.
It was All-Star break, right? It's a good time, had by all.
Jake McGee into the game here out of the pen for the Rockies.
40th game for Jake McGee. Pretty good year and nice looking splits. When you look at that graphic there, what jumps out? The very few walks, 9. Only 9 times, Mrs. Bueller. 37 2/3 innings pitched, and the strikeouts, more strikeouts than innings pitched for McGee.
A tough night for Will Myers. He's glad Marquez is gone. Struck out 3 times against Herman Marquez.
Who?
Herman Marquez.
Okay.
What, did I say something wrong?
I thought you said Marcus, like
No.
Marcus Stroman.
Marquez.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Swahe at second base, 2 down. Big night for Swahe. 3 hits in the game and a run driven in. On the ground foul outside of third. Center fielder Charlie Blackmon over towards right center. Somewhat of a gap out there in left center. If you're Myers and you have struck out 3 times tonight, you're down 1-2. You got to be thinking, oh boy, here we go again.
Yep. Well, like everybody else, I'm sure, I'd like to see Will run into one here. I mean, even a gapper to score a Swahe. A little mix up of the signs with that runner on second base. McGee looks like he's sporting the mohawk there.
Did you ever have a mohawk during the course of your career?
No.
No?
No.
One and 2 to Myers with 2 down in the inning. On the ground to third base. Arenado's got it. Throwing plenty of time for out number 3. Padres going to run back. 7th inning stretch, 7-3 Rockies. The seventh inning stretch presented by your San Diego Hyundai dealers. On to the last of the seventh, and more Kevin Quackenbush as he pitched the last of the sixth inning. Going 2 innings here out of the pen in relief of Luis Perdomo. Charged with 7 runs, 5 earned in 2 1/3. Craig Stammen incidentally went 2 2/3, allowed no runs on 3 hits, walked 2, didn't strike anybody out. Stammen did a nice job of quieting the Rockies offense. Again, it's done a really good job of doing that. Owen Arenado ready to face Quackenbush here in the 7th. Arenado 0 for 3 in the game. He's reached twice, once on an error and once on a fielder's choice. He's also flied out to right. The strikeout for Padres pitching in this game came from Quackenbush. That was his last inning.
Kevin has that breaking ball, that curveball, right? Let's see how it plays here in Colorado. He threw a nice one there to even the count at 1-1. Sometimes pitchers just don't get that feel. It gets slippery. Hector wants a fastball up. That's exactly where he threw it. Curveball, get it down there, bounce it.
In the air to shallow left. Perella coming in. 1 down here in the 7th inning.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres. Parra just push Hector Sanchez there?
Yeah.
I mean, they're messing around.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there would be punches thrown by now, I think. So 1 out here in the 7th inning brings up Gerardo Parra. You went 2 weeks without the disclaimer. Did you practice at all while you were home?
I didn't.
No. This came right back to you, huh? Like riding a bike.
Sorry about nailing it.
Yeah, you did. A little fast out of the gate, but you slowed it down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought so.
Now you're critiquing the copyright?
Parra will take a pitch outside. 1-1. Not the first time I've critiqued your copyright, by the way. There. Cha-cha.
People only knew.
Yeah. In the air, struck pretty well to left center. Margot going back onto the track at the wall. It's gone. Home run for Gerardo Parra. His 8th of the year. And the Rockies have their 5-run lead back again on top 8-3. Second home run of the night for Colorado.
Well, Parra can run into one, but being in a ballpark like this, I think it just goes to show every hitter you really don't have to come out of your shoes. If you make good contact, you put a good firm swing on it, and you hit it on the sweet spot, it's going to go. This one just barely makes it over the yellow line, but still. Here, I think anybody can go foul pole to foul pole just by getting the good wood on it. That was a nice, easy swing by Parra.
Top foul over by the Padres dugout. 1-1 to Mark Reynolds. Off the mound is Quackenbush to first for the out. 2 down. So Reynolds retired. That'll bring up Ian Desmond. Gerardo Parra with a solo shot off Kevin Quackenbush, adding to the Rockies' lead on top 8-3. With 2 down here in the 7th.
As I mentioned earlier, before he went on the DL, he was gone a month with a right quad injury. He was on fire, and he, since coming back, hasn't skipped a beat.
Ian Desmond fresh off the DL too. Singled in the 2nd, walked in the 3rd, grounded out to 3rd in the 5th. Quackenbush falls behind here, 3-0. Trevor Story waiting on deck. Rockies batting. Home half of the 7th inning on top 8-3. That's ball 4. Down to first base goes Desmond with a 2-out walk. Now tomorrow, game 2 of this 3-game series. Dinelson Lamet will be on the mound for the Padres, 3-3 with a 5.93 earned run average. Antonio Sensatella, 9-3. He'll be looking for his 10th win of the year for the Rockies with a 4.63 ERA. Get you started at 5 p.m. with Padres Live. It's the Padres and Rockies in game 2.
A couple of good young arms hooking horns tomorrow in the Mile High City.
It's like a pinch runner perhaps at first base. As I mentioned, Ian Desmond just coming off the DL and got a pinch run for him. Tapia will run for him at first.
What's his first name?
Raymel. First, and back is Tapia.
Is it Tapia, or Tapia?
That's a good question. I'm going to go with Tapia.
I think you're right.
Because I think you need a second pitch.
I knew. I just wondered if you.
Oh, you knew.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you knew.
See the emphasis on the first A. Tapia. You were right.
Runner first, 2 down. And a pitch in there for a strike to Trevor Story. Story has got quite a streak going on, one you would not want to have. At least 1 strikeout in 20 straight games. He's not struck out yet tonight. Quackenbush would love to get him to continue that streak for Trevor Story. Throw to first, and back is Tapia. Fastball high, 1-1. Northeastern Husky Adam Ottavino warming in the pen. In the air, shallow center. Margot calling. And catching out number 3 that ends the 7th. We head to the 8th, 8-3 Rockies. here in Denver, Colorado, where the Rockies have an 8-3 lead into the top of the 8th inning. More Jake McGee, the left-hander, back out there again. And he will face Hector Sanchez to begin the 8th. Some defensive changes for the Rockies as Gerardo Parra moves from right field to left field. And Tapia stays in the game in right field after he pinch ran for Ian Desmond. And this ball is headed towards him out in right field. Tapia going back onto the track at the wall. That ball is gone into the bullpen. Carried very well for Hector Sanchez. He's homered in 3 straight games now for the Padres. So now it is 8-4 as Sanchez going deep again. This one a solo shot. That one really surprised me, to be honest with you. It carried very well out there to right.
I thought it was going to be off the bird sanctuary fence, but it went over into the bullpen. High fastball 94, just getting that bat out there, hitting it on the sweet spot. Oh yeah, it's got that sound. Does it have the distance? You bet.
So Hector Sanchez homering in 3 straight games. Walk off on Saturday. A 2-run shot, 3-run home run yesterday. Solo shot here tonight. You trying to bounce back here against Jose Pirela, who was 0 for 3 in the game tonight. He was fly to right, grounded into a double play, and struck out swinging. Caesar has come out on deck here for the Padres. He would pitch in the pitcher's spot. Ball 3, full count. He throwing hard, 96-97. But off the mark here and trying to bounce back after the leadoff home run by Hector Sanchez. Ball 4, and down to first base goes Pirela. Well, the day after the Padres score 5 or more runs, get 50% off any regular menu price online order at papajohns.com. All you got to do is enter promo code Padres5. Well, McGee's going to get a visit here after a home run and a walk. At the final out of the 7th inning, and Myers gives up the home run to Sanchez and the walk to Pirela. Buddy Black on the phone, checking on his reliever, Adam Ottavino, who had been warming up. Steve Foster, the pitching coach, back to the dugout. Nobody out, runner at first, a run already in. And Matt Caesar pinch hitting. Swing and a miss on the fastball.
See, Don, this is what we're talking about, right? 8-4, slam range in this ballpark. Even though it's in the 8th inning, a lot can happen.
Line down the left field line. That's going to get in. Fair ball, heading for third base is Pirela. He will get there. Throw goes to second, and in with a double goes Caesar. So second and third now with nobody out. Padres making some noise here in the 8th inning.
With the outfielders playing where they play, they want to play on the deep side. But you get jammed, you break your shillelagh, right? He's got so far to go. Matt Caesar notices out of the box, hey, I got to take two.
That's going to be it for McGee. Kind of a tough outing for him here. Pitching change in the 8th inning. The Rockies have an 8-4 lead over the Padres. But the Padres making some noise here in the 8th inning. Already have a run back and 2 on. Jabari Blash is coming up, and he had a 2-run home run in the 2nd inning. Out to right center field off the starter, German Marquez.
And with the Padres trailing by 4, they are making it interesting here in the 8th inning. Because here's the situation now. Adam Ottavino's in the game, right? He's had that kind of year where it's been kind of like flip a coin. You don't know which Ottavino you're going to get. He can get very wild.
Now Blash after the home run back in the 2nd. Flying out to the warning track in the 4th inning in center field. Struck out in the 6th inning. He bats with Perella at 3rd, Caesar at 2nd. That's ball 2, 2-0.
Bullpen for the Rockies going into this game, 10th in the National League in ERA with a 4.39 ERA. And there you see the splits, the numbers for the season for the man with the number 0, Adam Ottavino.
That's a strike, and it's 2-1. Home run start of the inning for Sanchez. Walk by Perella, the double by Caesar. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. 2-1 to Blash. Outside for ball 3. Blash hits a high fly ball out towards left center field. Blackman back there with room. Will make the catch. Tagging at 3rd is Perella scoring. Tagging at 2nd is Caesar getting to 3rd. And now it's 8-5 as the Padres are within 3. So a sac fly for Jabari Blash. third RBI of the game for Blash.
Getting something up in the zone and sending it deep enough to drive in that run. Ottavino hangs the breaking ball, middle in. And as we mentioned before many times with the real estate out here, not just third base, but tagging from first or second. Taking that extra 90 feet.
Now it's Ibar, who takes ball one.
For the last 21 games for the Rockies, winless at 0-4 and an ERA of 4.9. 41 earned runs and 75 in the third innings pitched. Ouch, bad.
A little bit high, and it's now 3-0. Ottavino has been all over the place here since coming in. Caesar at third, one out. And there's a strike, 3-1. Ibar taken all the way. Ibar batting now. Now in Cordoba waiting on deck. Padres batting here in the eighth. They've scored twice. Oberg and Dunn up in the pen right now for the Rockies. Double-barreled action. Line caught at second base by LeMahieu. Held on to it long enough. We'll throw to first in case, but first base umpire Rod Copa said he had it long enough on the liner. 2 down in the inning. Hot shot, but right in the neighborhood of DJ LeMahieu at second base.
Yeah, don't change a thing, Eric Ibar. You got a good pitch, you put a good swing on it, and that ball from the lefty hooking DJ LeMahieu just happens to be there to his left to squeeze it for the out. It's a Gold Glover there in DJ LeMahieu.
So 2 down, and it brings up Alan Cordoba. Took over as part of a double switch at third base for Corey Spangenberg. Singled his first time up, came around to score the third Padres run of the night. Oh, 0-2. Kirby Yates up in the pen for the Padres. On the ground up the middle into center field, a base hit for Cordoba. From third base comes Caesar, and it's now 8-6. A 3-run 8th inning so far for San Diego. Alan Cordoba with his second hit since coming into this game.
Hey, pass it on to the next guy. 2-out knock, RBI. Now a 2-run deficit. Another grounder to the center fielder.
So Ottavino comes out of the game. Another pitching change here for the Rockies. It's 8-6 Colorado, but here come the Padres. Padres putting together 3 runs so far here in the top of the 8th inning. Have a runner at first base, and will bring the tying run to the plate against a new pitcher, Scott Oberg, into the game for the Rockies.
He's working overtime. 42 appearances, leads the team for the Rockies. A lot of walks from this right-hander, and once again, getting interesting. These Padre hitters have to be patient, and the splits, 291, 298. The ERA at 5.5. Pretty much a 4-seam slider type pitcher. Once in a while he'll work in a 2-seamer. About 95, 96. Another strong arm out of the bullpen for the Rockies.
And Margot, 1 for 4 tonight, singled back in the 5th inning. Takes strike 1. Adam Ottavino allowed 2 inherited runners to score.
How many?
2. They were charged to McGee. McGee ended up giving up 3 runs in a third of an inning. Pitch down and in. Glances off the catcher, Tony Walters. Ottavino is responsible for the runner at first in Cordoba. Throw to first, and Cordoba back to the bag. Held on by Mark Reynolds.
Well, it's been a little dicey for Mr. Oberg lately. He's given up 5 earned runs, last 2 1/3 innings pitched. Over 3 appearances against the Mets and the Reds.
A lot of tough numbers coming out of this pen right now for the Rockies. The starter tonight, Herman Marquez, went 6 2/3, giving up 3 runs. Still the pitcher of record right now, but the Padres making a considerable amount of noise here in the 8th. Tying run at the plate. Margot chops one through the left side into left field, a base hit. Cordoba up to second base, and it's runners at first and second now with 2 down.
Oh, stay tuned, folks. You never know what you're going to see here at Coors Field. Walk here, single there, walk here, base knock, and another trip from the skipper, Bud Black, out to the mound.
Another pitching change for Bud Black. Trying to get an out here as the Padres continue to put together runs and base runners. Pitching change, 8-6 Rockies. Interesting top half of the 8th inning so far for the Padres. They have scored 3 times, have 2 men on, tying runs on base, and third pitcher of the inning now is Mike Dunn, who comes in.
Well, the left-hander entering his 40th game has been scored upon 10 times in 39 games. 1 run past 10 games over 7 2/3 innings work. So Bud Black is going to the left arm of Mike Dunn to try to shut this inning down. The Padres have been putting together some good at-bats. Last 4 appearances for left-hander Dunn. 4 innings, 1 hit, no runs.
Carlos Suaje's had a good night. 3-hit night for Suaje, including a double and an RBI. Two on with 2 outs in the inning. There is strike 1, high strike at that.
First pitch breaking ball. He'll go to with the runner in scoring position.
A 3-run top of the 8th inning so far for San Diego. Suaje, it's fly ball to center field. Playable for Charlie Blackmon. He'll make the catch. It ends the inning, but the Padres score 3 times. Home run of the inning by Hector Sanchez, who's homered in 3 straight games. His goes out to right field. 8-6 Rockies. As we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Let's revisit the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego area Honda dealers.
Bust up the rocks early. Get that pickaxe out. Try to beat up those boulders. Padres offense, 2 runs in the first 4 innings. And no huge innings for the Padres pitching staff. Rockies, they had a 5-run third. That's kind of like teetering in between the big and the huge inning. And it paid off for the Rockies in that inning.
Ryan Buchter now into the game. Trying to keep it right where it is. A 2-run deficit to his 39th appearance of the season.
Great year up to this point for Ryan Buchter. Really good numbers, very reliable.
Takes over for Kevin Quackenbush. Fly ball foul down the left field line, out of play. Quackenbush went 2 innings. We have 2 hits and a run. Walked 1, struck out 1. Don't forget the work that Craig Stammen did too. 2 2/3 of shutout pitching. After Luis Perdomo was chased from this game after 2 1/3, charged with 7 runs. Tony Walter is fouling it off, and it's 1-2. Staying in the game is Matt Caesar. He takes over in center field for Manuel Margot. So pitcher spot now the leadoff spot. Caesar batting out of the 6th spot in the order. 1-2. Inside. 2-2. Pat Valleca has come out on deck here for the Rockies. Pinch hit in the pitcher's spot. That'll be for Mike Dunn, who got the final out of the 8th. Full count. Inside, and Walters may have gotten hit.
You know what? You know, the umpire just indicated foul ball. He swept his hand. Umpire gave this call, meaning indicating foul ball.
Bud Black coming out now to discuss this. Walters is headed to first base.
Does it hit the knob of the bat? You bet it does.
Into the catcher's mitt.
Yep.
So they're going to check it out here.
I think that hit the knob of the bat.
I think it did too. It may have gotten some of Walters' hand, and that's probably what he felt. So he headed down to first base.
Yeah, and you know what? That's a tough call for any umpire. Does it get his finger a little bit? I don't know. Really hard to tell.
Held onto by Sanchez. Indication by Jerry Meals was then out. After the foul tip, he then went with the outside. So apparently the call on the field is that he is out. So the foul tip, according to Jerry Meals. Indication is that he is out.
I thought I saw Sanchez drop that ball, but it must have been on the transfer. Caught it in his glove and then it went to the.
Here's another question for you. May have been hit by the pitch, but was he swinging? You know what I'm saying?
It's a good question.
This can't be a hit batsman if you are swinging. So one down, Pat Valleca going to pinch hit here.
You're right. If you offer at it and it hits your hand, that's a strike. It's a dead ball. But according to the call, off the knob of the bat into the glove, held on, strike 3.
Pitch coming up here to Valleca. We're going to look here. This Sanchez obviously catches it off what is ruled a foul tip. Dropped it on the transfer.
Oh,
so that's where it comes out.
You're right.
He's got it in the hand, so it is strike 3 held on to.
See, you come to the ball yard, you never know what you're going to get, right?
So down to first on a walk goes Valleca with 1 out. Charlie Blackmon coming up. Some tough numbers against Ryan Buchter. He's had no success, 0 for 5 lifetime, and in fact strikes out 4 times in his career against Buchter. Buchter hoping that trend continues. Blackman's had a good game. Homered in the first, walked in the third, grounded out in the third as they batted around, then singled in the 6th inning. Strike one. Booker's had good numbers against the Rockies over the years. Struck out 21 of 39 batters that he has faced lifetime for Colorado.
I'll take that.
That's pretty good. There are the numbers. Blackmon, no success against Buchter in the past. On the ground and into right field, a base hit. Valaika headed for third base. Getting it back in is Jabari Blash, first and third with one down here in the 8th.
He wants the fastball up, and it just catches too much of the plate. And Charlie Blackmon does a great job of getting that top hand on top of that pitch and rifling it past Will Myers.
So Valaika at third base, Blackmon at first, one down. DJ LeMahieu coming up, 1 for 5 in his career against Buchter. They're moving Matt Caesar well over into right center field. And again, way off the line and left is Perella. In the air, right center field. Blash calling and making the catch. Tagging at third base is Valaika. He will score. An insurance run for the Rockies, who go on top 9-6. Sac fly for DJ LeMahieu.
Oh, that's a huge run for Colorado. Rather than a bloop and a blast next half inning for the Padres, that's a 3 spot in favor of the Rocks.
So 2 down, brings up Nolan Arenado, but looks like a pitching change coming up. Andy Green headed out there to get Buchter. So Buchter giving up a run here. Kirby Yates will be coming in. It's now 9-6. Rockies on top. Pitching change from Coors Field in Colorado. run here in the bottom of the 8th inning so far. And Kirby Yates coming into the game, and we're seeing his wife, the proud parents of a brand new baby. He was away on the paternity leave and returns to the Padres. Oakley, born July 14th, 7 pounds 11 ounces.
That's beautiful, isn't it?
We had the chance to congratulate him before the game as he rejoined the team.
The giver of life, Kirby Yates. Good things happen when you bring life into the world. And we wish him and his wife and everybody in the Yates family, wish him very well as he enters his 32nd game combined the Angels and the Padres. Chance to keep it at 9 here. He inherits 1 runner. And 1 tough out, but it can be pitched to righty on righty here against Arenado.
Charlie Blackmon at first base, held on by Myers. Quiet night for Arenado at the plate. 0 for 4. Did reach on an error. Strike 1, 1-1. Perdomo started, gave up 7 runs. Stammen went 2 2/3 in relief for Perdomo. Quackenbush 2 innings, giving up a run. Buchter 2/3. He's charged with a run right now. Rockies on top 9-6. 2 down in the 8th. Low throw to first, but back to the bag is Blackmon. There was a chance he could be taken off.
He does have 8 stolen bases on the season.
Throw over. He appeared to be leaning that time, but he gets back. Ball 2, 2-1. Ryan Buchter responsible for Blackmon at first base. Buchter came in, struck out Tony Walters. Valleca, the pinch hitter, walked. Single by Blackmon, then the sac fly by DJ LeMahieu. It's the last batter that Buchter faced, and now Kirby Yates coming in.
Slider.
Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2.
Oh, he shook off the slider and fastball in here. Oh, okay, maybe second thoughts about it. Let's regroup here and maybe go over the signs again. Fastball in, fastball away.
Fouls it away to the right.
Now that's an emergency swing. Did you see that from Arenado? He's got that breaking ball in the back of his head. That was all upper body, all arms, out and away. Look at this swing here. Oh, that ball's nearly in the glove of Sanchez.
Runner goes, a swing and a foul back by Arenado. First time Blackman has tried to steal.
Well, he's aggressive with that swing, isn't he, Arenado? Man,
it's a healthy hack.
That's why I've always thought with a hitter like that, a good changeup, even righty on righty, is a good pitch. Looks like a fastball. Slider, fastball away, fastball in. Changeup. He's thinking along with us here. Get it in the right spot, though.
Runner goes, and that's low. Stopping at first base was Blackman.
Three-two slider.
Fouled off over by the Padres dugout. Run in here for the Rockies in the last of the eighth. Blackman at first base, 2 down in the inning. And again, a 3-2 pitch coming up here to Nolan Arenado. Swing and a miss. Arenado strikes out. Nice job by Kirby Yates to end the inning. On to the ninth. 9-6 Colorado. Sanchez, the walk-off home run against the Giants on Saturday night. Followed it up with a 3-run home run yesterday in the first inning off Jeff Samardzija. And tonight, late in this one, a solo shot of his own as the Bill Howe play of the game. Into the Rockies bullpen in right field. Brought the Padres back into this game. They scored 3 times at the top of the 8th. Make it 8-6, but the Rockies have added another run, and now Colorado on top 9-6 and into the game. Their closer, Greg Holland.
28 saves, 28 out of 29 to be exact. 1 blown. Nice ERA, nice numbers all the way around. He's the saves leader, 3rd career All-Star team. In 22 of his appearances this year, he's held opponents hitless.
Myers leading it off.
Batting 161 off the right-hander.
Going to go back to 2015 against the Angels. Ball and a strike now to Myers, who has struck out 3 times in this game. and grounded out. Holland is the 6th pitcher used tonight by Bud Black. Strike 2.
Little slider at 87 for Holland. He's got the 4-seam fastball, 95, 97. And there you see the league, Major League Baseball leaders in saves.
Myers strikes out for the 4th time tonight. 1 down in the 9th. The star of the game tonight, Herman Marcus. Carlos Jr. star of the game. Marquez 6 2/3, 3 runs, struck out 9. Line for the victory right now.
One of the young arms in their rotation for the Colorado Rockies. We talked about them earlier. They've got a good crop of young arms. Hoping to do good things here in the Mile High City.
1 out for Hector Sanchez. Rockies going into the shift as he takes strike 1. Hector with a home run last time up in the 8th. Oh, 2. He's the NL reliever of the month in April and in May. Off to a tremendous start with his new club, the Rockies. One out in the 9th, and Hector Sanchez down 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got away briefly from Walters. He'll throw him out. 2 down. 2 strikeouts to the first 2 hitters for Greg Holland.
Looks like he buried the slider in the dirt. Well out in front of home plate. Very tough to lay off with 2 strikes.
Two down in the 9th inning. Jose Pirela. Flied out, grounded out, struck out, walked his last time up. That is only blown save of the season on the 15th of June. That was against Tampa Bay. 1-1. Blew the save but ended up getting the win in that game as the Rockies came back to beat the Rays. It's the only blown save he's had all year. A ball and a strike to Jose Pirela with 2 down in the 9th. To center field, Blackman moving back, hit well. Blackman going back, and that's going to be off the bottom of the wall at the 4:15 mark. Throw coming back in, but Pirela at second base with a 2-out double. Hit that ball a long way here in Colorado. Straightaway center and the 4:15 marker back there.
That's a good at-bat against Greg Holland. We talk about mistakes. Even the good ones make mistakes. Very few this year. But that one, he gets extended. You can see Blackman playing on the second base side of the second base bag, just totally beating the shift. Ball's crushed.
So 2 down. Runner at second base. Padres still alive here. Matt Caesar. Second at bat, doubled first time up in a pinch hitting role. Takes ball 1. Caesar batting now. Potential tying run on deck. And Jabari Blash, who can take you out of the yard. One and one.
That is a good tight slider right there. Late movement from Greg Holland. Matt kind of opening up on that pitch. Tough to stay on it. Try to drive the other way. That's where the outfield is playing. Go the other way.
Popped up foul, and Caesar down 1-2 in the count. Two down, 9th inning. Padres trailing by 3, have a runner at second. Holland trying to get his 29th save of the year. On the ground to shortstop. Story's got it. And that's the ball game. The Rockies take game 1 of the series. Padres with a valiant effort coming back late in this one. But the final again. The Rockies 9, the Padres 6. As Colorado takes game 1. What's in store, Mike Pomerantz?